on a freezing February morning in 1994, while Bosnia bled beneath a sky filled with smoke and unanswered prayers. 6 Serbian J-21 Jastreb attack jets lifted off from a makeshift airstrip, flying low over shattered towns toward a military factory in Novi Travnik, fully aware that the no-fly zone above them was guarded by the world's most powerful alliance. Their leader, Ranko Vukmirovic, a seasoned pilot hardened by years of war, pushed forward with a calmness that only comes from accepting danger as routine. Meanwhile, high above the clouds, 2 American F-16Cs, piloted by Captain Robert Wright and Captain Scott O'Grady, patrolled the icy air, unaware that they were minutes away from making history. Their radar screens suddenly lit with 6 fast-moving contacts violating restricted airspace, and NATO controllers immediately issued warnings, but the Jastrebs continued their descent, engines growling as they prepared for their bombing run. Inside the American cockpits, the tension thickened. This was the exact moment military planners had feared, the line between deterrence and war. And then the call came, calm, direct, irreversible, cleared to engage. Wright dropped altitude like a hammer falling from the heavens, locked onto a Jastreb, and fired the missile that would become the first combat shot in NATO's 45-year history. The sky erupted as the aircraft exploded in flame, sending debris raining into the valleys below, and chaos shattered the Serbian formation. Pilots screamed warnings, broke formation, twisted violently through the air in desperate attempts to escape, but the F-16s were too fast, too modern, too precise. Wright fired again, another direct kill, while O'Grady chased a fleeing jet, his missile missing by inches as the pilot dove behind a ridge. What followed was 4 minutes of pure, historical intensity. 3 Serbian aircraft fell, 2 more barely escaped, and the mission was destroyed before it reached its target. But the impact went far beyond the wreckage. As news spread across command centers and television screens, the world realized NATO had crossed a threshold. It had gone from an alliance of treaties to an alliance of action. Some nations called it justice, others feared escalation. But in Bosnia, where families hid from shell fire in cold basements, it felt like a small, long overdue sign that someone was finally willing to push back against the violence consuming their homeland. For Wright and O'Grady, the moment became legendary. For Ranko Vukmirovic and his men, it became a symbol of impossible odds. And for historians, it became the dawn of a new era where the skies over conflict zones would never again be ignored. That single morning, 6 jets, 2 fighters, and a 4-minute battle changed the face of modern warfare and proved that sometimes history doesn't unfold on the ground, but in the thin, fragile air where nations test each other's resolve and the future is decided in the blink of a missile's ignition.